Viewers, before us we have question 3 from Mathematics Paper 2 for the year 2024, written by the internal candidates. And we have given a question 3a coming from the topic of computer, and this question is given as a pseudocode, and we are told to use every information that we are given under the pseudocodes and come up with what we call a flowchart. So a flowchart is where you use visual representation that involves polygons. So let us read through the question. So we have the following program is written in the form of pseudocode. So we have the start. So we are supposed to use the polygon that accommodates the word start. So the word start is written under a circle or sometimes an oval that we are just going to use it. So this should be start. Away from there, so to move from step 1 to step 2, you need to write an arrow. So arrow gives you or shows that you are about to show a second step. Then we are told enter, arrow, and S. So these are our inputs. So where are we supposed to put inputs? So inputs are written under parallelogram. So say enter, arrow / S. So this is a parallelogram. Then we have if. So when you are given a question like this under pseudocode, when they say if, when writing a flowchart, the if changes into a question. So it has to become easy, and you have to use what we call a rhombus. So a rhombus is used for a decision making. So you say is S less than R. So we are going to have two answers. We have yes, then we have no. So then represents yes. So after yes, we are going to write now print error, S is not valid. So this is now the output. So the output is as well written in a parallelogram. So we can now come up with this one to show the output. So you say print error, S is not valid. So we end here since we are not told to re-enter. So what of else? Else represents no. So after no, we have this formula. So this formula shows the process. It's calculation, so it's a process, and the process is written under rectangle. So you write your rectangle. You write, if you want, you can say calculate, or you can just go direct, calculate. Have area is equal to pi times r times s. And if, so before you end, we have print a, which is another output. So before you stop, you need to add another parallelogram for output. So you can say print a. After that, we can now stop our program. So this is what you're supposed to do. So what is important here is how to change information into polygons, or given the flowchart, then how to change the information in polygons into statements of a pseudocode. So hope you've gotten one or two. We move on to question number B. So we are told in the diagram EFG is a triangle in which EH is equal to vector 4A, EF is equal to vector 4B. We are given also ratios FJ to JG is equal to 1 to 3, and H is a midpoint, so it's very important. A midpoint is a point that cuts a line into two equal parts. Then F and H and E and J meet at P. So the first question, express in terms of A and slash or B the vector FH. So we need to come up with this vector. So you write FH is equal to, so if we are to move from F up to H here, so which route are we supposed to use? Can we use FG or G? Now, since we don't have the value for FG, we cannot use this one. We need to use now this route. So we are going to use this one since there is a value here, even this one since there is a value there. So this is what you're supposed to do. And for this question, F is our initial point because that's where the journey is starting from. H is our final point. So to move from E to H, we can say E, F to E plus C, E to H. Then we can put the numbers. So if you look at the arrow is pointing in this direction, but we are moving in this direction. So therefore, we are supposed to add the negative to show the reverse. So this becomes negative 4B. Now for this one, from E, we have 4A, and we are going toward the arrow, so the vector is positive 4A, which is, this is our answer, but we can now begin with the positive number, so 4A minus 4B. So this is our first vector. We move on to question B, FG. So F is our initial, G is our final. Now remember, H is the midpoint of this line, so H is kiting EG into two equal parts, which simply means that if here is 4A, even here should be 4A, since the two lines are the same, so you put 4A. So to move from F to G, we are going to use the same route, this one plus this one. So you say FA plus EG. FA is still negative 4B, then E plus C. So we have 4 plus 4 gives us 8A. Then 8A minus 4B. So this is our final answer. If you want, you can factorize, but this is our final answer. We move on to question number C. Express, EG. EG. So the vector from E to J. So we can move in this direction, or we can move in this direction. So the best way is we move from E to F plus C, F to J. So what is the EF? Is 4B. This time we are going to get a positive number since it's toward the arrow, plus C, FJ. Now FJ is just this portion here. Remember, the vector that we have is this vector from here up to here. So FG, we have it is 8A minus 4b. Now from this party, we just need like a quarter of this one. Now this is where now the ratio z comes into play. So if you look at the numbers, so 1 represents the first fj, so here there is a 1. Then 3 is jg, so here there is a 3. So the total is equal to 4, so you add 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. So from 4 we just need a 1 over 4, so it's a quarter of the vector fj. So we have 4b plus quarter multiplied by fj is 8a minus 4b. We can now expand, so 4b plus c, so 1 over 4 times 8a, same as like this, 1 over 4 multiplied by 8a. So 4 here is 1, 4 here is 2, so this gives us 2a. So plus 2a minus 1 over 4 times 4b. So the 4 cancel, so here we just get a b. Now to simplify our final answer, we have 4b minus b plus 2a, giving us 4b minus b is 3b plus 2a. So this is now our final answer. Then from there we are told to give it that fp, so fp is equal to k, so k is a constant which can represent any number, is equal to k times fh. So do we have the vector for fh? Yes, we have it, the first vector here, so this number or this expression here, so we put 4a minus 4b. Then from there we are just going to expand. K times 4a will give us 4ka minus negative 4b times k is negative 4kb. So we've written this expression for fp. Now the question is show that ep, so want to show ep is equal to, so if we were to move from E up to P, so we can use this one and this one. So that is what we are going to use. So say EF plus FP. So we can now do the substitution. EF is 4B plus C. FP is this expression here. So we write 4Ka minus 4Kb. So we need to look at how they have arranged this expression. So we need to make some comparison. So they started with 4Ka. So that is what we are going to start with. Number one here. So you write 4Ka plus 4P minus 4KB, like this. From there we write 4Ka plus, so we need to now factorize. So if you look at and this should be B, so this should be B because it's 4B. So we need to factorize what is common. So 4 is common, we have a 4 here and we also have a 4 here. So you write your 4, you open brackets. What else is common? B is common. This is for B, this is for KB, so B is common, but the B must be written on the other side of the brackets according to their arrangement. So here 4 is gone and B is gone, so we have a 1, minus 4 is gone and the B is gone, so we have a K. As we can see, we have our final answer, so we can say hence shown. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.